still feeling like I'm swaying. Yeah, definitely still have some sea legs. Oh God. Hi guys, my name is Diana. Welcome to this week's weekly vlog. Pretty much most of last, God, what are even days anymore? Today's my first day back from a 6-day sailing adventure up to the San Juan Islands, where we sailed for hours on end each day and slept on a boat. I had scheduled a Pilates class for today, and I was so glad I canceled it because I feel so disoriented right now. I'm hoping that it'll just go away, but yeah, definitely experiencing some sea legs. So yeah, today is Thursday. My plan is to catch up on pretty much everything that I've missed. I feel like I just have like a bunch of things I need to get done. We have a lot more plans coming throughout the next couple weeks. Like, it's that really busy summertime, and I have a lot of things I just need to finish up on and a lot of planning to do. I also need to do some skincare and some body care stuff. I was doing pretty good on the sunscreen and the sun exposure, but yesterday I think I forgot in the morning. I was just so petrified to cross the strait, which is like a huge body of water between like Canada and Washington. So I won't get into it here, but we did have a rough go at crossing the strait on our way back, that we had to turn around and then come back a day later through the strait. But yeah, I think I was just so petrified I wasn't even thinking about sunscreen, and so I got a little, God, it just looks like nothing. But there is a bit of more redness on my hand, and again in this screen, this is probably the tannest I will ever be. I feel like I failed. Like, it's not burnt, but it is redness and some color. So I turned my fan off so we can chat, and I want you to know that's because I love you so much, and I want you guys to hear me because it is so hot. I don't know if I said yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday, so today is Friday, and it's 77 degrees, and even in my house it's even hotter, so not like the most fun. So I've been bringing fans everywhere around my house because, of course, as we all know, Seattle has no real air conditioning. My friend has invited us to his rooftop, and so I thought I would show you guys some stuff that I'm going to be bringing. I wanted to check and see if the peach Bellini stuff from 4th of July, which at this point is like 11 days ago, is still good. I'm curious, so I'm going to check that. Doctor's orders. Oh my God. My face is so red. You know what smells pretty good? I'm gonna put it in a mason jar so I don't have to bring this whole big thing. And then in a clear mason jar, I'll be able to see how icky it is. Got myself a mason jar. Let's give her a old lookaroo. Seems fine. Smells fine. Just tastes like a lot of, it really tastes fine. It's just this peach Bellini mix doesn't have any sort of carbonation in it, and it really needs it. Otherwise it is just syrupy and sweet. So yeah, it's like it hits you with that rum intensity, and then you just are sipping and munching on sugar. So I don't know if I want to bring it. That already gave me kind of like a little tummy ache. I'm gonna lead of it because I am bringing some mead. This was mead that me and my husband went to a meadery on Vancouver Island. This is Tugwell Creek. If you are in the area, it was spectacular. So many great meads, so many different textures. This is similar to, I believe, the white port. Man, I don't remember. Which one did we get? But we picked this up and thought we'd bring it to share with some friends, since Brittany, the last time we hung out, brought some mead. So now we brought some Canadian mead to share. One more thing to test. This is a bottle of wine that I got before my sailing trip. So this is also over a week old. This is a white Vinho Verde, which is a Portuguese style of wine. Since we're going to Portugal in a couple months for our honeymoon, I thought it might be fun to try, you know, different types of things. I had white port at the meadery tasting, which was fantastic, and apparently that's kind of like a Portuguese thing. And I'm also trying to get in the habit of picking up a bottle of wine when I go grocery shopping, something new to try, to cook with, and to just kind of build up my collection again of wine for when people come over or when I go over to people's houses. It is carbonated, so that's why I wanted to check and see if it's still good. Honestly, this wasn't my favorite wine, so it's not my favorite, but I think it's still good. Let's bring it for my friends. Hope we can keep going. Decided to take a little walk at the Arboretum, the northern tip of the park that's on, I think this is Union Bay, kind of part of in between Lake Union and Lake Washington. There are a bunch of islands, these marshy islands that you can walk across that are super cool. There has been construction for a while. They were refixing the ecosystems and the pathways there, so I'm hoping that they're open. There were construction signs, but we haven't hit any construction stopping yet, so let's go find these marsh islands. Great time to be wearing my white mesh shoes in the merd. Well, you want to cross that? Oh, you guys gotta get off. Yep, I'm gonna drive home soon, so you and all your little bug friends. It's got to go. I think that's a honeybee. They are honeybees, yeah. So I've made it back home, and yes, all those little islands are still closed. It was just so funny to walk up to that little bridge area and to see that it's completely submerged. Brittany and another friend of mine are gonna go check out a movie. We're gonna go see The Black Phone, which I've heard a lot of good stuff about. It seems to be kind of like a horror suspense film that like I've heard only good buzz about. So I'm gonna head over to the movie theater and hopefully enjoy a nice air-conditioned cool theater and a good flick. I hope they fixed the screen. Hey guys, so there is a heat wave going on. I have my air on. I need it on. I'm sweating already. I wanted to kind of sit down and talk to you about kind of like the rest of this vlog. I had some family come in from out of town, so we did a whole bunch of touristy stuff, so I thought I would share that with you. Maybe some ideas on where to take people that are visiting, or if you're coming to visit. If you'd love for me to do a very fully comprehensive Seattle tourist video, please let me know. I have a lot of ideas and opinions. So my family member came in kind of like in the late afternoon, so we went out to dinner and then we went and caught sunset at the Ballard locks, which are super cool and fun. If you check out my sailing video, there we had to go through the Ballard locks coming in and out, so if you want to see what it's like from a ship's point of view, you can check out those sailing videos. But the Ballard locks is the separation of the Puget Sound, which is saltwater ocean water, and the freshwater of Lake Union and Salmon Bay and all of the lakes in that area. Since the waters are different currents and you know, saltiness, they have these big structures to allow the boats to lower or lift to then cross into the next section of waterways. It's really fun. You can walk around and see the ships kind of go up and down. The Garden Locks also has a botanical garden section. While we were there were a whole bunch of people playing beautiful ukuleles and singing. I would love to know what kind of community group they were a part of. Flowers and walking trails, and then on the other side there's also the salmon ladder. The life of salmon is they leave the ocean and then they swim upriver into fresh water till they lay their eggs and die. It's a very important part of the forest and ocean ecosystem. But with things like dams and the locks, it kind of breaks up that system. And so there are the salmon ladders where the fish can come in and they can make the transfer as well, just kind of like how the boats do. So they have a beautiful free museum, educational area. They have some lovely videos, and when we were there were a whole bunch of fish. And since you are near the salmon ladders, when you are crossing over the waters, there's usually a bunch of seals out in the salty bay area because they're just waiting for the salmon to come in and out, so you can see a lot of seals there as well. We then went to MoPop, the Museum of Modern Pop Art. This is like a music lover, grunge lover's paradise. There's a lot of really cool exhibits on all different types of musicians, local and non-local. There was beautiful portrait photography in the like rap and hip hop section. I was blown away by some of these portraits. And of course, since it is Seattle and the PNW, there's a whole bunch of things on grunge. There's a section of Nirvana, and then there was this huge section of Pearl Jam. Lots of different exhibits through all the different time periods of Pearl Jam, all the different phases. Really fun stuff, lots of stuff to look at. They also have a couple exhibits based off of different movies. They have a fantasy section with a whole bunch of Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Dungeons and Dragons stuff in it, as well as horror. So I was hanging out with pretty much all the DVD characters, all the killers, even found Sweet Jenkins, Michael Myers. They had a big sci-fi exhibit as well, aliens and different robots and really cool movie stuff. A really cool museum. We definitely took our time and probably spent close to 2 hours there, so really fun. MoPop also usually has a rotating exhibit. When we went, I didn't really see one, but in previous years they've had like Marvel costumes, or they had the Muppets. We also did Bill Spiedele's underground tour of the Pioneer section of Seattle. I believe there are a couple underground tour companies. Some are 21 plus, this one is not. When Seattle was first built, it was built on these marshy lands and with sawdust and not very sound, foundation. There was a huge fire that occurred, and the city decided to raise up the city to also help with different tides and other city planning problems. So there are a whole bunch of buildings that have their first floors are underground. And so with this tour, a tour guide takes you around to the different buildings and do all of the history about it. The tour was a little short. I was a little bummed at how quick it was. It was just over an hour, but it was very cool. A lot of really interesting history, and I think my favorite little tidbit is they talk about how long this project was. Because remember, this is like the late 1800s, early 1900s, so the course of doing all of this construction was a lot longer than it would be in modern times. And so what they did was they made these 12-foot sewer pipes go across all of the streets that they were gonna build up. So they then they encase that in concrete. So you would have stores, and then you'd have these 12-foot streets up here. And what people would do was put ladders up against each side of it and walk up, and that's how you would cross the street, is you would walk up this 12-foot ladder, go across, and walk down. And it was like that for 4 years. Like how bizarre. I would love to check out some of the other underground tours, but this one was a fair price. Like I just said, I wish it was a little bit longer than it was. And then with that, we decided to go whale watching. Yet again, another really exciting thing to do with somebody that is from out of town and somebody from a landlocked state. I've gone whale watching several times on several different boats, looking at several different whales, but it was nice to go to Edmonds, a place I hadn't gone whale watching before. Edmonds is about a half hour north of Seattle, so it was also really nice that it wasn't too far of a drive. The boat that we got on was pretty massive, which was nice because I wanted to make sure that my family member had the opportunity to kind of be sitting inside if the ocean and the ocean breeze, and you know, if they got seasick, they had a place to sit that was air conditioned, felt kind of more enclosed, had a bathroom on it. But the boat also had a lot of great space for you to walk around at the top, and you got really good views. We were able to come across the transient orca pod, and they looked so massive and beautiful, and oh my gosh, the joy on my family member's face when the whales were coming. It really is just such an incredible experience. I think the entire boat was just in awe. It's great. You never get tired of seeing the whales, and it's such a special thing that really only the Puget Sound has. And that has been my week. I have just been hiding out in my ice cave, trying to avoid the heat and stay cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your favorite part or something that I talked about that maybe you're really interested in checking out yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.